Hi, everyone. I'm Frank Mallicoat, anchor reporter for KTVU Fox 2 here in the San Francisco Bay Area. My guest is the co-founder. He's also the managing partner of Above Vacation Residence. It's a high-end hospitality company. It's based in Austin, Texas, and it's a company that has had to make a few changes along the way with our COVID-19 world. And let's say hi to that co-founder, Brian Sbrocco. Brian, how are you?
Doing great, Frank. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you. Well, out of the gate, why don't you give our viewers an idea of what you folks do?
So imagine this. If you're sitting on a really incredible luxury home and you don't spend as much time there as you think you do, we're a company that comes in there and says, oh, you're sitting on this great home. Would you mind renting it out to some pretty nice high-profile groups or high-profile families? And we'll return the home right back the way you found it. So imagine your primary residence starting to produce revenue for you. And that's where we found ourselves several years ago, begging that question, and it has just taken off since then.
And you started, I guess, with a handful of homes, and where are you now?
We did. We started, actually, we tested marketed it because we've been in the hotel business for quite some time, my wife and myself. Grew up in that industry. So it was a natural progression to go from hotels and resorts and venue centers to our customers were asking for something a little bit more unique, and homes seemed to fit that. And we test marketed my own home. And from there, convinced a few family friends in the neighborhood around to see if they would like to do that. And from there, we've never spent a dollar marketing to any of our homeowners. And it's just been word of mouth, and we're just about to approach 60 luxury estates here in the Austin area and expanding to Colorado, Nashville, Charlotte, and even Kohler, Wisconsin for the 2021 Ryder Cup.
Oh, very good. Yes, the golfers need a place to stay, that's for sure. And you not only, rent out these homes to higher end folks, you kind of cater to their whims as well. I mean, this is unlike VRBO. Tell us some of the other things you do.
We love our friends at VRBO and Airbnb and the like, but they're the incredible platforms to find our homes. But truly, if you could imagine, I grew up I had the best blue blood degree by working for Hyatt Hotels and Resorts for 15 years. I had the honor of working for them and bounced around the entire country with them. Really spending most of my time in the high-end luxury resort side. So I don't know how to do anything different than that. So you can imagine coming to a spectacular luxury home, but have every amenity and service that you had at that Five Diamond Resort, from concierge, housekeeping, chefs, massages, welcome amenities, butler service.
I'm in.
That's what we do best.
And you go right down to the thread count of the sheets, the pillowcases, the towels. If they give you a laundry list of things that we would like set up, you do it.
That's what we do. We're here to serve.
Okay. Well, now that we know what you do, how has your world changed? I would imagine out of the gate back in March and early April, your business turned upside down a little bit because
you can imagine
you're all at home.
If you look at one seminal moment that happened, look at South by Southwest, one of the most fantastic for your viewers in the Bay Area. South by Southwest is the pinnacle of where Twitter was announced, right? It shut down right there in mid-March, and the bottom fell out. We were having an incredible year. March dissolved, April disappeared, and May was probably about 80% down year over year. We believed in the model, and belief is a wonderful, maybe it's what's the right word I'm looking for? It's probably the next best thing to hope. When we hoped that our model made sense, that, boy, even in a pandemic, people may get tired of their own four walls. Maybe they want to control their own environment and not have to share a lobby of a hotel or share a elevator with someone, but actually invite who they want to come down, maybe those people who have been quarantined with them, and enjoy something a bit different. And boy, that belief turned into fact when that we hit May 1, looking at it going, oh boy, I instantly saw a turnaround as the country began to reopen, especially as Texas began to reopen. We finished May 240% above 2019. And this month of the July will be over 400% higher than what. And it has a lot to do with controlling your own environment. Of course, COVID changed so much. Thank God I had this great degree when it came to Hyatt and their cleaning standards. Obviously, partnering with the best. I looked at the chemicals and the disinfectants that we were using and the housekeeping and how hot the water is and everything for every sheet and towel. And we looked at all of that and said, boy, we're partnered with the right companies. This is everything on the CDC website we were using, but we began to redo our checklists and how much we hit high traffic areas. Even brought in a company that fogs homes, that actually completely disinfects what they use in operating rooms, right? So making not only my guests feel super comfortable, but my homeowners, when they come home, just as comfortable as well.
Well, I would imagine, did you lose some of the homes? Because as a homeowner, do you want to rent your place out under these conditions? Was that difficult?
You know what? It was a big concern. As you're sitting there staring at the abyss going, the customers aren't coming, and are my homeowners going to want to do this? Right. We have gained 9 homes since March, just in the city of Austin.
Wow.
So many of our homeowners have another home to go to. So they are understanding. Obviously, when the CDC announced I think it was around mid-May, that it's very difficult to catch COVID surface-wise, right? Yeah, it's mostly transmitted person to person. That obviously was helped hotels as well as companies like myself, and gave reassurances that as long as we're washing hands and doing all the right things the CDC asks us to do, we're going to be okay. Just what we want to be careful is spreading person to person.
And did you have to step up protocol a little bit, the cleaning protocol, in light of what's going on?
Absolutely.
In a big way, right? I mean, you're bringing in fog machines, for crying out loud.
Yeah, and even in some places, we're even using some UV light, right, on some smaller areas, surface areas, and different things like that. It really is dependent upon that customization of what my customers are asking for. Of course, we don't sacrifice our own protocols, but we also have extra protocols that can be deployed based upon the comfort levels of our guests and our homeowners.
You talked a little bit about your expansion into Colorado, into Nashville, Charlotte, among other places. Has that been kind of put on hold while we kind of get through this, or are you moving ahead?
Let me speak just to Nashville. We went into Nashville right around the holidays, and we signed up about 7 or 8 beautiful estates. And we promised them, hey, we're going to be coming in right around May 1 to begin reservations, because you have to bring a team and put a staff in. It isn't easy to transform a luxury 10,000 square foot home to a high-end rental home and then turn it right back to an owner's home. It takes a lot of staff. Wow. We had to build that out. And of course, I put that on hold until we found out how well things progress. But we're going to be turning those ones on in Nashville, I would imagine, in the beginning of the 4th quarter.
Wow. Well, you talked about your many years with the Hyatt, 15 plus, in sales, marketing, and management. Maybe you can just give us your thoughts. Are you optimistic about hotels in the future and in light of the coronavirus?
It's a great question. I'm not only optimistic, I'm bullish, Frank. The key here is, as great as this technology is, I want to see you in person. That's hardwired in every human being, every grandma, every grandpa, every mom and dad that can't see their kids right now, can't be together with one night. Every trade show that has a product that needs to be shown, anytime we want to sign a big deal, any of those moments, this is good for now, but it will not take us into the future. As much as we love to collaborate with one another, and this is a great way to do it for now, The best collaboration has always been done together,
Right.
and we will get back together. Now, how does that look? How are these hotel companies going to fare? Look at a company like mine who is rocketing forward because of my customer can control their environment. Obviously, it's harder to control an environment in a hotel or in a trade show or things like that. But as we have more herd immunity, as a vaccine may be on the line, or may as this virus, as most viruses do, kind of fizzle out after a while, we're going to be back to doing what humans know how to do best, and that's be us, right? And be with one another. And I'm bullish.
Yeah, amen to that. I'm ready. I don't mind working from home, but it would be nice to go see all my my colleagues at KTVU. Well, in the midst of all this, you have also launched a charter plane service that is gaining some steam too. Fly above. People don't want to go to airports. They don't want to sit next to Uncle Bob, who is, got a bad cold, and you've kind of worked a way around that too. Tell us about that.
I wish I could take this credit for this. That's why it says co-founder. I kind of pick up on other people's really good ideas. This actually came from my son, Blake. My son, all my boys have grown up in this industry. And growing up in this industry, they get it. And they do lots of different things for this company at the moment. And when this pandemic hit and he's out of school and he's just working from Zoom and going to classes, he's like, Dad, how can we bring the experience that we're providing once they check into one of our homes? How do we get them earlier? How do we get could you imagine if we start showing what we do best the moment they left their house? And that's when he's like, I could go out and look into finding the right partners to bring them here privately, safely, cleanly, securely, and at that point still be able to bring that level of service that they're not used to yet. And so and it got us thinking. And while I was ruminating about this, and along with the rest of our team, he went out and got his charter license. And at that point, it began to take hold. As we looked at it, maybe last year in 2019, we did about 25, 30 chartered flights that we knew that people were flying in privately to visit our homes. We're doing that about a month.
Oh,
now.
wow.
So we were seeing that not only are we in that luxury category that people can afford that, people are actually looking for ways along those lines to feel more control of their environment.
I bet. And that's fly above, right?
Yeah, it's just that's just what we call it here internally under above. We just call it fly above,
Sure. I always ask our guests to talk about the general area. You're in the greater Austin area. What's it like right now with the coronavirus? Can you go out to dinner? Are people wearing masks? Just give us your take on that.
You know what? What I love about our town is even in an election year, it's all pretty civil. As much as we hear about, this camp versus that camp and the division that's happening, what I see in Austin is people just taking care of one another. People are wearing masks because people asked. It wasn't the government that had to really push it. I see people just wearing masks because they think that's just the right thing to do right now out of respect for the person next door. I see people in restaurants. I see people in hotels. I see people who are coming, even to when we come and greet guests at our own home, we're masked and gloved out of respect for whatever they believe, right? And how they feel with comfort. And that's something we just don't sacrifice on. And people tend to respect that. The streets are busy, right? It isn't locked down like it was. But the thing that is different is people are distancing, right? People are, conversations are happening a little bit further from each other. We see that. And you know what? That's just where we are today. It is definitely not where we'll be tomorrow.
Well, let's hope not. Brian, if someone wants to get in touch with you or try out your service, how do they do it?
Oh, come on and take a look at it at bookabove.com.
Nice.
Bookabove.com.
All right. Well, Brian, continued success. What a pleasure to have you on. And
thanks for having me, Frank.
I would imagine your company will continue to zoom. Great stuff.
Thank you so much.
All right. That's Brian Sbrocco. He is the managing partner and the co-founder of Above Vacation Residences. Brian, thank you for that. I'm Frank Mallicoat. If you'd like more information, you can go to coronavirusnow.com. Have a great day, everybody.